Does anyone have a favorite pre-poker meal? I don't really, but I always like to eat a really good food before I leave and play. And today I am cooking some salmon. And I've never smoked vegetables before, but give it a try. And then my wife makes this soy honey spicy sauce for the salmon. I kind of drizzle it over it every 15 minutes until it's done. So yeah, maybe it'll help me run good real quick. Headed back to Paramount, been running good there, so let's see how it goes. Give it a shot. One more quick update. The TV came in for the garage, so that's pretty exciting. TV's in, so the garage is gonna be more equipped and be ready to go. So hopefully in 1 week, I can start recording the games. Quick story time. I do not normally sit at the table with $800 plus unless the table calls for it. With this game, you can normally sit around $300, but I sat down right away, got a bomb pot, scooped it with the king high flush on top and 2 pair on the bottom. The opponent called me with a jack high flush on top and nothing on the bottom board. So I get to scoop that pot and start off my game with a bigger stack. The very next hand, I am under the gun with 4-7 of hearts. I raise it $10, low jack calls, cutoff calls, button calls, small blind calls, and big blind calls. They all say, welcome to Texas, we want to see a flop, and 6 ways to the flop. The flop comes out 5 of clubs, 5 of hearts, and 6 of spades. I flop open-ended, thinking I'm pretty good. I go ahead and elect to check, and then it checks all the way around to see a turn. On the turn, the small blind checks, the big blind checks. I go ahead and bet 25 into a $60 pot, thinking that is a good number. Maybe I can represent something. I don't know what I'm representing, but something. Low jack folds, the cutoff go ahead and folds, and then the button thinks about it for 2 seconds and goes ahead and throws out $25. Small blind folds, button folds. We're heads up. The pot size is $110. The river gives me a 2 of diamonds, so I completely whiff my open ender. The only way that I think I can win this is by betting, so I go ahead and throw out 50. I see the button only has about 85, so I try to make it look like a value bet. He asks if I have a 5.
I think I got better than a 5.
He doesn't believe my story. He throws out $50. I show I have 7 high and say good call. He turns over ace 10 and good call, Boost Mobile Man. Hand number 2, I'm on the big blind, low jack bets 16, the cutoff calls, I want my money back, so I'm going to go ahead and call to see a flop. Right before the hand, I'm joking with the Boost Mobile Man saying I want to win my money back.
I'm just getting your money.
Well, you're first to act, so let's see what you do.
No, I'm not. Check.
Check dark.
Checking dark can never be in a bad position until you drill the nuts, and you're gonna check anyways. If you see a flop like this, it goes ahead and checks around and throws out the ace of hearts. Ace of hearts coming out, you have to gain a little value out of this, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw out $30 to test the field. It also throws out a flush draw too as well, so if there's a flush draw, I might get a little value out of that too. They both call, so I might get a little bit of my money from the Boost Mobile Man. The next card that comes out does unfortunately complete the flush, but I'm still going to bet. If they hit runner, runner, flush, they're just gonna get paid. I go ahead with a half pot bet of 75. The low jack thinks about it and eventually calls. I don't know what he calls with, because I just show my cards and eventually get paid, but he thought I was representing the flush, and I show him the straight and I take that one down. Unfortunately, this is the same guy I scooped in the bomb pot, so his revenge range was probably activated. Hand number 3 in the cutoff, I have King Jack Jack 3. Not the best Omaha hand, but giving it a try for $5. The funny thing is you can almost play anything in Omaha for $5. Under the gun bets 10, under the gun +1 folds, low jack folds. I call in the cutoff for 10, big blind calls, and the pot size is $60. Off to the turn, which is a 9 of diamonds. Completes the straight and adds in a flush draw. A straight is one of the easiest better hands to make in Omaha. I also barely have any blockers. This is not the best spot if someone bets big. Big blind checks, under the gun bets 25. I go ahead and snap call because I have more outs, but I also might have the best hand. He is scared of something with those baby bets. Big blind folds, and that puts us heads up off to a river. The river is the 3 of diamonds, completing the flush draw, so really does not improve my hand very much at all. I don't have a very good hand anymore anyways. Not that I ever really did. Middle set with a flush draw out there, straight draws, no blockers. It's really not the best. Under the gun, eventually grab some chips. It looks like he puts out 75. I call because honestly 75 into a pot like that without him potting it, I put him on pocket 8s. He eventually turns over his cards and it looks like he has top 2 pair. It looks like 2 pair is not going to take it, and good hand. I'm glad he didn't pot it because I probably would have folded. This one's a fun one. I am under the gun with Queen 5 of hearts. I bet 15. Middle position calls 15. This is the same guy I scooped and then I won the $75 off with on the river too with the straight. Just kind of been beating him up a little bit today. Everyone else folds and we are off to a flop, which is the 2 of clubs, King of spades, and the 10 of hearts. So I pretty much whiffed this one 100%, and with bad cards and you miss, the only thing you can do is c-bet to see where you're at. He goes in the tank for like 5 seconds and says,
"Look, I don't have a jack."
Oh. He says this because jacks have been winning a lot and I won with that loose call earlier with the $75 call. Nice hand, nice hand. Hand 4, I have a 5, King, 4, 6. Under the gun, bets 30. Under the gun, +1 calls. I like to play almost anything on the button, so I go ahead and call to the flop. The flop is King of diamonds, 4 of diamonds, and the 10 of hearts. The turn is the 7 of clubs. It checks around to me. I go ahead and bet 75 with my crappy 2 pair, but also it opens up a straight draw, and so it gives me more outs if they do call. I really don't want to call here. I'm just trying to take it down with a just undersized pot bet, hoping that I put them in a tough spot because I'll probably fire again on the river. Both players do eventually fold, and I take this one down. Hand 5, I have Jack 10 of clubs and 10 of hearts in the hijack position. I bet 15, big blind calls the 15, and then the low jack calls the 15. I'm not gonna lie, I have been getting crazy lucky today. The flop is ace, king, queen. King, queen of spades, ace of clubs. I flopped the absolute nuts, so let's go ahead and charge the flush draw $20 or any ace out there $20. I bet kind of half pot-ish to see how it goes. The big blind folds, the low jack smooth calls pretty quick. 5 of hearts comes out. He checks pretty quick too as well, so I go ahead and go into the tank for a second to try to underplay my hand. The acting doesn't work too well. I bet 50 and the low jack position snap folds. I am under the gun +1 with ace 10 suited. Under the gun bets 15. I go ahead and call 15. Middle position calls 15. And the cutoff calls 15. Okay, 4 ways to a flop, which comes out 4 of diamonds, queen of spades, and the 10 of diamonds. The under the gun position checks pretty quick, which I go ahead and fire out 35 with middle pair to see where I'm at. I have no other draws other than maybe hitting an ace or another 10. I would not recommend this most of the time. I've just been running good, and I'm going to try to play to that and let people believe I keep running good. So the low position, the low jack folds, the cutoff folds, and the under the gun calls. The turn is the 4 of clubs. As soon as it comes out, he checks, and I start to try to think about the hand, and then he starts talking.
I got 2 pairs. I don't have trips.
I'm not really sure why this works, but I go ahead and check. The river is a 7 of spades. He checks really quick, real fast. I just go ahead and show my cards, call it pretty much a check. He says it's good. I didn't even think about the flush draw. I'm not really sure why. And nice hand. Last hand of the night. I have 10, 3, 3, 5. It is 7 ways, $10 each, making it a $70 pot. I don't recommend playing this hand for large amounts. This hand isn't good. This type of play happens a lot in Texas poker houses. The whole table calls $10 to see if they hit. If you re-raise, there's a very good chance you'll play all in 5 ways. People do not fold often pre-flopped in Omaha, especially late. They want to see flops. The flop is the ace of hearts, 2 of spades, and the 3 of hearts. I have 1 blocker to the straight and have only 1 heart. This is barely a blocker. This is a mediocre flop for my hand. Middle position bets 40. The button calls the 40, and then I tank call the 40. I really don't like my position, but I feel like I can represent the straight on the turn, and my set might possibly be good. So I'm priced in, and I go ahead and give them a call. The turn is the 5 of spades. Exactly like I planned, I'm gonna go ahead and bet 150 just to represent the straight, and hopefully my set is good. I have the blocker. I'm not really sure if this is the right play. Let me know in the comments. This could just me trying to represent that I've been running good and see if my cards can hold. I do this a lot and I probably shouldn't. The middle position snap folds, and then the button goes ahead and gives me a call. This man has been chasing flush draws all night, and I'm gonna assume that he's on a flush draw again. The river is the ace of spades, giving me a baby boat. I check, planning to check call. The button, which I was assuming, which I'm probably right, was on a flush draw. He does check, and that makes my hand good, and I win the pot. Not a bad way to end the session. It was real short. I was actually really tired from the last session that I played, where it was Memorial weekend, so Sunday to Monday, so everyone played. We played super late. Probably it was way too late. But anyways, this session was only like 2 or 3 hours, really quick session, and it was nice. As soon as I sat down, got the double up from the bomb pot, and then kind of ran pretty good there for 2 hours. So might as well just call it there and call it a night, and follow me for the next one. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and keep an eye out for the DGen game. Thanks guys. Bye.